I like taking kind of complicated concepts and putting them on a page. I am such a fan of putting things on single pages. And so that's why we do a workbook. Because can you imagine if I just like spoke at you for an hour and went like ramble, 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 dribble, dribble, all the things, you'd end the call and be like, oh my goodness, what just happened? Right? Did a hurricane just rip through my house? And so that's why we have a workbook. It helps you, also helps me stay on track. All right, marketing campaign. Let's do this, my friends. Fill it up today. Class formula. Alrighty. Oops, you know my spelling. Oops, formula. So who here would like some more students? Does anyone want some more new students in their studio? Anyone? I'm teasing. Of course you do, right? Excuse me. That's why you're here. You're here to fill up your studio. And so we want to fill it up today, but not only today, we want to fill it up tomorrow and the next day and the next day, next week, next month, next year. I want to give you a system so that you can consistently fill up your studio. And here's the thing, when it comes to marketing, we need to be a lot more specific. We need to be a lot more specific. Remember yesterday I said, you're breathing, you're in, right? That is not a good marketing strategy, right? That is not a good strategy. Got a heartbeat, you're in, right? It's not a good, why isn't that a good strategy? Tell me in the comments, why is that not a good strategy? You're breathing, you're in. Why should we not do that for our marketing? Let me know in the chat. Yes, not the right fit. You get all the crazies, right? Yes, you want to attract your tribe. You want to attract people that are going to be dream customers. And there's plenty of them out there. As I said yesterday, people keep having babies. You'll keep being able to put students into your classes. And there's no sign of the baby making slowing down, my friend. So I think you are good for a long time. You are good for a long time. So what we're going to do today is we're going to start to get really clear on who we're going to market to. So right now, what I want you to let me know is which age group do you most want to attract with new students into your studio? So if we think about August and September, let's do it for the next couple of months. August and September, which age group do you want to bring in? Which age group do you want to bring in? 6 to 7, 7 and up, 3 to 6 teens, preschool 2 to 6, 3 to 6, 3 to 18. No, Jenny, 3 to 18 is way too big. It's a big, big, big gap. I want you guys to get specific. What's that specific age group that you want to bring in? 5 to 7, 3 to 7, 2 to 3, 5 to 10, 7 to 11. Bingo. 3 to 9, 6 to 9. Awesome. Awesome. This is a really great start. We want to get really specific. And so right here, we're going to put age and class. This is the first thing that we're going to talk about. Age and class. So you told me the age that you want to attract. What classes do you want to enroll them in? So some of you kind of did this 3 to 6 year old age group, right? Whatever your age group is. And what class do you want to attract them in? I know a lot of you who are on this call, which is nice, are doing our preschool dance program, which is Dancely. I know some of you are implementing Dancely into your studio. And so it might be your Dancely program or your Broadway babies, or you might, if you're doing older kids, it might be level 2 jazz. If you're doing adults, it might be beginners Samba, right? But I want you to get clear on the main focused age group you want to bring in. Now you're like, but Clint, I want everyone. Hold your horses, hold your horses. I just want you to get focused on one specific age bracket that you want to bring into your studio, right? One specific age bracket, and you can dump in as many different styles as you want, right? This is great. So yeah, Bonnie's saying ballet, jazz, hip hop. House of Glass Dance is saying contemporary jazz and tap. Lolo is saying ballet and tap, ages 5 to 7. Linda's saying 3 to 7 years for pre-ballet, ballet and jazz. Amazing, right? So we're going to put all of that into our age and class. So we're really clear now on the age group we want to bring in and the class that we want to offer them, the classes that we want them to come into. The next thing that we want to look at is the qualities of that student. The qualities of that student. So my friends, think about the age group that you put in. Some of you had like 8 to 10s. So let's use that as an example. 8 to 10-year-olds. Think of your favorite 8 to 10-year-old student. I won't tell anyone you've got a favorite because we love everyone equally, but let's pretend you do have a favorite. Who is that favorite student that's in that 8 to 10 age group or whatever age group you selected? Now, what I want you to let me know in the chat is what are the qualities of that student that makes them your favorite? Why would you love to have 30 of them in the class? What makes them the student that you're like, if I could only, and have we all said this before? If I could only have 30 of you in the class, I'd be running my dream business. Has anyone, was that just me? Has anyone ever said that before about the classes that they've taught? Oh my goodness, this is incredible. Look at all of these amazing qualities that we're looking for in our students. Committed, responsible, go-getter, kind, hardworking, silly, outgoing, good attendance, hardworking, good listener, joy, follows direction, respectful, kind, hardworking, eager, happy, outgoing, excited to come to dance, eager, polite. Yes, yes, well-behaved, good attitude, hard worker, dedicated, supportive, attentive, committed and happy, respectful, hardworking. Yes, 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 excited to learn, teachable, positive energy. Hope you're copying, pasting all of this amazingness, right? This is what we're looking for. And you might be going, but Clem, why do I care about this? This is the start of building your marketing campaign. Most people don't do this. Most people jump to, how do I do a Facebook ad? Guys, that's not where you start. You start here in creating the strategy, because people will say, my Facebook ads don't work. My marketing doesn't work. And I'm like, walk me through your strategy. And they're like, Facebook ads? It's like, that's a tactic. Where's the strategy? Where is the map of this is the campaign? Here's who we're targeting. Here is our offer. Here is the way we're going to communicate this offer. Where is all of that? That forms your campaign, not just a tactic of a Facebook ad or an email or a listing on Yelp, right? All of these different things are tactics in their distribution channels, but then it's not strategy. So that's why we have to do this work up front. So, okay, fantastic. You've got your ideal student. You've listed down all of those qualities, which you're going to then use in your marketing campaigns to ensure you're bringing in these types of students. The next thing we want to talk about is the people that pay for the classes. And this is if you work with children. If you don't work with children, you only work with adults, you can just fill out the student section. So parents, so think about the age group that you targeted, right? In this example, it was 3 to 6. You've got the qualities of that student. What about the qualities of the parent? Think about your favorite parent. I know you don't have a favorite parent, but just pretend you do have a favorite parent in your dance studio in this age group. What are the qualities? Let me know in the chat. What are the qualities you're looking for in this parent, in these parents? And if you had 30 of these parents in the class, you'd be living the dream, living the dream. Supportive, drama-free, follows rules and pays on time. Love it. Respectful, good payers, reads material and posts and tags us a lot. They communicate, they're involved, but not too involved. I love that. Engaged, and they read my emails. Wishing and hoping there, Mandy, wishing and hoping. Michelle, respectful, supportive. They trust us. They're willing to pay. Supportive, not bossy, supportive. A lot of you want supportive parents. They trust us. They pay on time. They're engaged. They're kind and respectful. Guys, we are building the most incredible dance parent in the world right here together. Trust the process. They're involved. They read. They pay on time. Lots of people want readers. Are you guys not reading? Are your parents not reading your newsletters? Are they not reading your newsletters or your emails? I'm shocked. I'm shocked. Awesome. I love this. So everyone right now, this is what we're creating. We're creating an avatar. We're creating a vision, a picture. Who are the ideal people we want to bring into our studio? Can you see how you get the crazies if you don't do this process? Can you see how this process allows you to get really clear on the types of people? And the great thing I love is that then this allows you to start marketing to your ideal customers in a way that connects with them, in a way where you're both speaking the same language. Yeah, parents who work with us, not against us. Yeah, no one's, oh my goodness, no one's got time for that. You don't read the newsletter and you're not with us, you're out. You're out. That's what you are. You're out. So that's our ideal parent. And now we want to think about the teacher of these classes. So we've picked our age group, we've picked our classes. Think of your incredible teachers that teach these classes. Can you do that for me? And list out the qualities of those teachers. List out in the chat the qualities of those teachers. So when we think about the teachers that are taking our age group, so in my example, it's 3 to 6 year olds, we're doing the Dancely classes, which is the preschool dance program. We're clear on our students and our parents. Now we need to really get clear on, okay, what qualities do our teachers bring to the table? Now, guys, this isn't what you wish you had in a teacher. That's another conversation about hiring. This is what attributes and qualities do your current teachers for this age group in these classes, what qualities do they possess? All right, let's have a look here. They're engaging, fun, patient, inclusive, nurturing, reliable, loving, knowledgeable, engaged, patient, kind, on time, dedicated, high energy, kind, high energy, super fun experience, dependable, friendly, firm, fair, and magical, give 100%, over 100% all the time, nurturing, loving, energy, hard work, supportive, engaging, enthusiastic, nurturing, cool, fun, energetic, prepared, follows instructions, enthusiastic, engaging, happy, and joyful. Take a breath. Nurturing, caring, energetic, loving, kindness, friendly, upbeat, energetic, loving, caring. Okay, we get the idea. Oh my goodness, good with names, yes. Oh my goodness, I was so bad with names. Like that was definitely a downfall for me. When I had like 37 or 38 kids in my senior jazz technique class, they all started blending to be the same person. with that many teens, it's hard. But yes, knowing names is very, very important. I love this, good class management. So what we are building out here is a real beautiful, clear avatar of, okay, I know who I want to market to. I know the program that I want to promote. Here are the ideal students that I want to bring in. Here are the ideal parents that I also want to get their attention. And here are the incredible qualities that my teacher or teacher has that we can use inside of our marketing. So we're going to use this during the week as we keep building on this plan, right? So right now you have absolute clarity on who it is you want to target. Now, some of you will say, but Clint, I also want to not just promote to the 3 to 6 year old age group. I also want to get the 8s to 10s, and I want to try and get some 12s to 13s. You duplicate this process for each age group that you want to focus on. Right? You duplicate the method for each age group you want to focus on. I'll give you a word of warning though. Don't try to go out to all the different types of people at once. That takes some practice, right? We have members who have been through SAI, which is our 8-week student attraction program. And then some of those people join us as inner circle members. We see some of our inner circle members running multiple campaigns at once, but this isn't where you start. You've really got to kind of like drill in and nail down this process first before you start doing multiple campaigns running at the same time. It can be done, just takes a little bit of time. All right, so let's talk about hatching your hit hook. So hatching your hit hook, this is your offer. This is your offer. You're like, well, why are you calling it hatching your hit hook? Because we all know the best pieces, well, mostly the best pieces of the song are the hooks that are written into the song, right? It's the thing that you sing when you're in the shower. It's the thing that you sing on the walk. It's the thing that gets stuck in your head. That is the hook. And so what we're going to create now are offers that are compelling for our ideal customers. These are the hooks, the things that they're going to see and go, oh, I'm interested. Oh, I'm curious. Oh, I'd love to learn more about that. Oh, what's going on over there? And a great offer and a great hook is not enroll in my studio for the year. It's a bad idea, right? That's like you and I meeting on the street and saying, hey, want to get married, right? The same thing. We don't want to do that. We want to give them a taste. We want to let them experience our studio and our business, right? That's what we want. So I want to give you our top 5 offers. I want to give you our top 5 offers. The first offer, and these are in no particular order, is a free class. You know, we call it a trial. A free class or a trial. Free class or a trial. The great thing about a free class and a trial is that it brings you a lot of people. If you promote it correctly through the right marketing campaign, a free trial can be an absolute blessing to your studio. Now, the con, the flip side of a free trial, is that the quality of the leads won't be as high, right? If you were going to do our next option, which is a paid trial, the pro of this is that you get more high quality leads. So if people are paying for a trial, if people are paying you for a trial, that means that their intention to take further action with you is higher. Does that make sense? Free people, not as high quality, right? It's a generalization. The lead quality is not as high. As someone who's handing you money straight away, even if it's a discounted trial, if they're handing over something, some type of money, there's a level of commitment. And so what happens on your paid trial is your inquiry to trial rate go up because they've already paid for the trial. So the likelihood of them actually coming to do the trial is pretty high because they've paid for it. Your enrollment rate from trial to enrollment will also increase because they've invested the money up front for the trial. Higher quality lead, a good strategy to test. I really do enjoy and like free trials because you can get really big growth in your studio fast. The problem is some people say to me, but Clint, they don't work for me. They don't turn up to trials. They're a pain in the butt of a customer. And normally that's because you haven't got the system in place to follow up with them to get them coming to the trial and then getting them enrolled in your studio, right? It's part of our 11-step enrollment process, but you even need to go deeper into the process when it comes to free trials because you treat them differently to a paid trial and you need to do a lot more education up front with the free trial versus a paid. But if you want big numbers, if you said like 150, 200, 300, 400 new students over the next 12 months, I would be surprised if you didn't implement a free trial campaign at some point during the next 12 months because it's going to get you that growth a lot faster. You just need to make sure you've got the system in place to support free trials to get them coming in and trialing the class. Paid trials, which is not how you spell paid, but let's pretend that it is today. Paid trials, as I said, really, really helpful around getting great quality leads in. The flip side of that, though, is that you're not going to get as many trials through the door. You're not going to get as many people through the door because you're asking them to pay up front. There's a place for it, but again, I want to give you kind of our top 5 options. The next one is a 7-day class pass. You might have heard me talk about this before, our unlimited class pass. 7 days. This is also free. You can also charge for it as well. I like to do it free, where they can come in and during that week, not for every day, but for during that week, you get to offer them to come to as many classes that kind of fits them as possible. And the reason this one works so incredibly well is because you're giving them multiple touch points with your studio in a week. You'll see a lot of gyms, a lot of Pilates and yoga studios use this because it's just highly effective. You want to get them in the studio as much as possible that first week to get them kind of firing on all cylinders. The other thing is if you're just giving them one opportunity to come to your studio, all the stars have to be aligned. The parent has to be in a good mood, the kid needs to be in a good mood, your office manager needs to be in a good mood, and the teacher needs to be in a good mood. That's a lot of people that need to be in a good mood to make that one class work and that one class create magic for everyone involved. The great news is with a 7-day unlimited class pass, for instance, is that you get multiple opportunities to wow the customer. And so I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of that one. The other one is dollar for X. And you're like, what is dollar for X? So an example of this is you may do something like $2 for 2 classes, $5 for 5 classes, $3 for 3 classes. Now, again, you want them to do this within a 2-week period. So I never like doing an offer that spans longer than 2 weeks, because within 2 weeks, there is still excitement. There is still excitement. Think about a gym membership. Why do they give you kind of short time frames? Because they know after the first couple of weeks, you're probably not gonna go. And that's what gyms bank on, right? Gyms bank on lots of memberships, lots of members where no one truly goes, so they can keep selling more memberships, right? We're not in that business. We need people to utilize our services, and we want them to come to class. And so doing $2 for 2 classes, $3 for 3 classes, you kind of get the best of both worlds. You'll get a lot of people signing up for this, more than a paid trial, less than a free class pass though. You'll get a lot of people signing up, and they've handed over some money to you already. There's already been a value exchange. So as soon as someone gives you $1, they're more likely to spend money with you. And so that's why we like these offers. And lastly is a bundle. So a bundle can sometimes work really well for that preschool age group. It can actually work for any age group. And this is where you might give them a class plus maybe a tutu or a pair of shoes for a certain amount, right? So you're bundling things together. It might be a coloring book and a tiara and a class and a tutu for $25 for 2 weeks, right? So you're coming up with kind of this mesh of different things that your ideal customer would be interested in, and using that. So here are the top 5. And again, there's lots of ways to implement these into your marketing campaigns, but I wanted to share with you the top 5 that we see work really well for our studio owners inside of our programs. Let's move on. And don't forget, I have a Q&A session this afternoon at 4 p.m. Eastern. So I'm not looking at the chat today because I got a lot of content to go through, and I've only got 29 minutes left. So if you do have questions, please join me today at 4 p.m. Eastern so I can go through all of your questions. So right now we're going to talk about branding principles. Now, this is new. I haven't talked about this before. And the reason I wanted to bring this into our Student Attraction Challenge training is because people just keep looking like all the other studios in the area. And I was like, everyone's always like, oh, but Clint, it's so hard to stand out. But how do I look or sound different from the other studio that essentially does the same stuff as what we do? And because I get asked that so many times, I was like, right, I'm finally going to introduce this into one of my free trainings, because it's all looking a little bit the same. It's all sounding a little bit the same, and it's looking a bit the same. And here's the thing, you as a studio owner, there is so much originality inside of your studio. There's so much uniqueness inside of your studio. But if you don't know how to market that, you can end up looking the same as everyone else. And if you don't have the answer for, well, Jenny's Dance Academy has classes for $12 and they say jazz, and you have a class for $15 and you say jazz, kind of, you have different colors, but it kind of all sounds the same to me. Why should I come to you? Right? You will never have to answer that question again if you follow these next branding principles and guidelines that I'm going to provide you with, because I want you to stand out. There's enough room in this world, in this planet, in this universe for all of the dance studios that want to open. I truly believe that there is enough space. Like I said, babies keep happening. There is enough space. But what we need to really focus on is, how do we talk about our uniqueness, and how do we share the narratives and the stories of what we do and why it matters? And so that's what we're going to talk about. The first thing when it comes to principles of branding, right? These are the principles that I want to share with you. The first thing is, what do you stand for? What do you stand for? Some of my words might get cut out today as I'm typing, but I'll repeat them a few times. What do you stand for? That's the first thing that you need to think about. And if you're like, dance, bow bow, that's the wrong answer. That's not what you stand for. We're going to talk a little bit more about that. The second thing around building a brand is all about, and you guys do this so well, is about building community. This is really what your brand's about. As you bring people into your studio, parents, students, teachers, what you are doing is building community. You're building a community of incredible people, and you need to foster and nurture that community. So building community might be like, isn't branding a logo and some colors? Again, that's a tactic. That's not a strategy. What I'm sharing with you here is building your brand, actually strategy around creating a brand that's going to stand out from everyone else. Number 3 is these things. Does anyone know what this stands for? VMGP. VMGP. If anyone can smash and tell me in the chat what VMGP stands for, I'm going to send you a prize. I have no idea what the prize is going to be because I literally just made this up. But if you can tell me what VMGP stands for, oh, Jerome! No, you have one word right. You have one word right. Okay, vision and mission. Okay, Bonnie, GP. I'm wondering if an inner circle member will get what GP stands for. No. Anyway, I don't want to waste. Yeah, great product. I mean, that's important. That's important. So vision, mission, and guiding principles. Vision, mission, and guiding principles. Yes, Jerome, but you're late. Vision, mission, and guiding principles. You've got to make sure to build a brand. Don't just jump into Canva and put a little koala that's orange, on your website, right? That's not how we do branding. We need to also be clear around your vision, your mission, and your guiding principles. The 4th thing when it comes to building your brand is you need to ask your team. It's so surprising to me when a studio owner is building their brand. I'm like, what do your team think? What conversations have you had with their team? They're like, nothing. And I'm like, oh my goodness, they're the people in your brand every single day. You need to talk to your team. You need to ask your team members questions, the right questions around how to build a brand that stands out. The other thing, who else do you think you need to ask? Ask your who? Who else do you need to ask to build a great brand? Who else can give you some insights? Yes, your customers. Ask your customers. They're living in your brand once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week, 7 days a week if they're competitive students, right? You need to think about asking your customers as well. In alignment with this, as part of building your brand, is you need brand champions. You need brand champions. Now, brand champions can be parents, teachers, students, local community members that love you, but you need to build these into your studio. Brand champions, people that wave the flag for your studio. This is a little more tactile for you, is you need a brand Bible. We talk about this, we talk about all of this inside of the Student Attraction Intensive program, right? What is your brand Bible? Your tone, your colors, yes, all the kind of more tactical stuff. You need to make sure you've got a brand Bible, because here's the thing. I've been on some of your Instagrams. I saw the little Instagram follow train, and my friends, some of them look like hot messes. Hot messes. I'm like, you look like you're from 100 different dance studios when I go onto your Instagram. I don't have a clear picture of like who you are, what you stand for. And it's not just about the colors, it's about the copy, it's about the offers, it's about the imagery. I mean, it's really about all of it. And it's really hard for you to stand out in your community if you always look and sound different. That's why branding is really important. Because I love it when our members will come to us and say, oh yeah, a parent came to me in the supermarket and said, oh, are you from so-and-so dance studio? Oh yeah, I see your jackets everywhere. Like, and they know your color. I've seen you guys on Instagram. Right, that's really good. That brand recognition is what you want, but it's really hard if you're a little bit of a hot mess. Okay, so we don't want to do that. And the last thing is audit your marketplace. Audit your marketplace. Hear me, I am not saying stalk your competition on social media. I'm not saying that. That is not helpful. That is not helpful. But auditing your marketplace looking at the top 20 or 10 or 30 dance studios in your area, looking at their brand, looking at what they stand for, not to copy, never to copy, but to see what is in the marketplace. What do they look like? What do they sound like? What does it feel like? How are they presenting themselves? Because what you don't want to do is be a carbon copy. I mean, you never want to be a carbon copy, right? And if I was you, people say, oh, but I love drawing inspiration from local studios. No, draw inspiration from other types of businesses. Draw inspiration from fellow studio owners. If you join us in SAI or you're members of our program, draw inspiration from those people, but not your local community. Because if you're obsessing over all the other local dance studios, you'll end up looking and sounding a lot like those people. I want you to forge your own path forward. And that's part of the exercise that we're doing here. So these are the kind of top 8 principles around the brand that I want you to consider, that I want you to be really thinking about. The next thing is branding opportunities in your studio. Branding opportunities in studio. So here are some really nice tactical, because you guys like tactical stuff. Here's some tactical ways that you can introduce your brand into your studio. The first one is through branded classes. Oh, that's not how you spell classes. Branded classes, right? So some of you might have your preschool classes branded. Some of you may have your recreational classes branded. Brand your classes. We have a whole module inside of the Student Attraction Intensive where we go through how to most efficiently and effectively brand your classes so you can stand out. So what you branding your classes. The other thing is make sure that all of your marketing materials are branded. And this is what I talked about before when it comes to social media. Don't be going crazy. Don't be looking like a bunch of different other dance studios, right? Get really clear. And that's where the brand Bible helps as well. Merchandise in your studio. Merchandise, uniforms, a great way. And I'm not talking about, please do not get your students buying big jackets and stuff that has your logo like big and obnoxious. No one wants to wear that, right? No one wants to wear the little embroidered silhouette dancer on a jacket. I'm sorry if you still do that. I've probably offended you. No one wants that jacket, right? Think about your current customer. What do they want to wear? What do they want to wear? I've seen the best studio merchandise and uniforms where the logo is like so tiny on some people. It's like just the tag inside. The kids wear the stuff everywhere and the community knows what studio they belong to because of the clothes that they wear. Like that's a brand. That's a brand. Not a big puffy jacket that has like Jenny's Dance on the back of it, like the size of 5 hands, right? That's not attractive. Other places, Recital is a great place for you to get out your brand. Really awesome place, right? To get out your brand. And lastly, social media. Social media. I just had a great conversation with an incredible, I would say like one of the leading in the US social media experts, who is actually going to be sharing some tips with us next week as a little bonus. Can't tell you too much about that, but I'm excited for him to share next week. And we were having a conversation around content and really how to market a dance studio through content really efficiently and effectively. And so I'm excited to share those tips with you next week. But social media is huge for you to get your brand. And I'm not talking about putting your logo as a square on Instagram. It's not what I'm talking about. Don't want you to do that, right? But really thinking about your content calendar. I think it's week number 4 or 5, I think, inside of the Student Attraction Intensive. We have a whole week dedicated to giving you a content calendar for social media where we have your whole month planned out for you, right? And we give you the formula of coming up with content. Right? You need to be thinking about that when it comes to social. All right, let me go into something that I like to call my secret sauce blueprint. Secret sauce brand blueprint. This is what you need to look at. If you are struggling with talking about your studio because you just sound like everyone else, pay attention. This is how you stand out. It's a 9-pillar framework that I want to walk you through right now. And this is going to give you a whole bunch of talking points. You can put it on social. You can do videos with it. You can get your teachers involved with this. You can put it in emails. You can put it as Facebook ads. Oh my goodness, what I'm going to share with you right now can provide you content for like the rest of the year, if you get it and if you pay attention. So here is the framework. The first thing is your journey. Who are you? Guys, not enough of you talk about your story. And I'm not talking about putting it on the website. Oh, when I was 3, I started doing ballet. I'm not talking about putting it on the website. I'm talking about you sharing it always. Always, always, always. To the parent you meet in the supermarket, to the new parent that starts, to the teachers when you hire new teachers, at recital, at competitions, online, in class. What is your journey? What is your journey? Did you start as a dancer? Did you get into dance late? Right? What is your journey? And this is around the question of who are you? Because here's the thing, people buy people. And if you're not sharing your journey and who you are, you're not impacting as many lives as you could be, because people are not choosing your studio. They're going to the studio down the road, up the road, across the road, that tell their journey, that tell their story. Who are you? The second thing is your reason. Why a dance studio? Why a dance studio? Why do you have a dance studio? Do you tell that story? Do you share that on social? Do you share that in your emails? Do you share that to new teachers? Do you share that to new parents that you might see in the waiting room? Do you share why do you run a dance studio? Because you could have run a bakery. Would have been a lot tastier. Why a dance studio? Why a dance studio? Let me know in the chat. Who talks about these things? Do you talk about your journey? Do you talk about your reason for starting a dance studio? And don't say yes if you put it on your website once. That doesn't count. Do you actively talk about it? Amazing. Great. Some of you are like, not enough. And I'm sure a lot of you are not enough. You probably do, but you probably don't say it enough. Yeah, but not through social. Exactly. Yeah, not consistently, not as much. Yeah, all the time. Awesome. That's great. All right. Number 3 is your passion. What are the top 3 things that light you up the most about being a dance studio owner? You don't share. I know you guys don't share this enough. I know you're passionate. I know you're passionate, but you don't share it enough. You don't share enough what lights you up, because a lot of you probably think, well, do they actually care? Like, they don't want to hear from me. Yeah, they do. And you need to be dropping this in all the time. You need to be dropping it in all the time. What is your passion? Let me know in the chat. Just give me one. Give me one of them. Seeing the kids perform, seeing the progress. Yeah, creating. Yeah, what else? What else? Why are you passionate? Seeing the pride in the parents. Yeah, confidence in kids, sharing knowledge, witnessing confidence grow. Safe place to dance. Yeah, knowledge transfer. Awesome. I love this. You need to share these. You need to share these. Next one is value. And value is all about, what do you offer? What do you offer at your studio? If we're having a conversation and I said to you, so tell me about what you offer, what would you tell me? Type in the chat. What would you tell me? Tell me about what you offer. Let me know in the chat. There's no wrong answers here. There's no bad answers here. Every answer is a good answer. A family. Oh, I like that. Amazing classes for preschoolers. The oldest and most experienced studio on the North Shore. Community, growth, creativity, knowledge. Create amazing children, a happy, safe place, confidence, light bulb moments, a safe space, community. Can I challenge you on something here? What would your parents say you would offer? What would your current parents say that you offer? I would assume a current parent would not say, well, they offer my child light bulb moments, right? And Michelle, nothing yet. I love you writing that, but when we're thinking about marketing, we have to put it in the language of the customer. Yeah. What are your parents saying? Fun, second home, friendly and caring, confidence, great social outlet. Yeah. And you might be thinking, but Clint, that's not exciting. That's what your customer wants though. That's why they're coming to you. What we do is we wrap your uniqueness into this bundle. You might go, but Clint, everyone's kind of, dance skills, fun, family. Yes, but we need to wrap this into this whole framework that I'm giving you, right? Because if we get to number 4, by number 4, you've talked about your journey, your reason for doing a dance studio, what you're really passionate about. That's all very, very unique. And then we tie in the elements of what you offer. Even if it sounds like what everyone else offers, they don't care because they have gotten to know you now. And as I said, people by people. And guys, you can do this. Your office manager can do this process. Your teachers can do this process. It doesn't just need to come from you. All right, number 5 is your uniqueness. This one sometimes is a little bit harder. I want you to think for a second. Let me know in the chat. Why your studio? That's the question. I'm a parent. I'm looking at 5 studios in the local area. And I say to you, why would I bring little Susie to your studio? What would you tell me? What would you tell me? Why your studio? Because I got like 100 others I could go to. Why am I coming to you? Awesome. This is great. Values, welcoming, the classes, inclusive, invest in each child, boutique school, know everyone's name, fairness, inclusion. Yeah. Value all students. Great. And that one normally takes a little bit of time to develop. Like what's truly, truly unique. And other things might be, we have ample parking. We have so much parking. You're never going to struggle finding parking. We provide free tea and coffee and we've got free Wi-Fi. And you're like, but Clint, like, but we're doing this for the heart. We're doing this for building the confidence. I'm like, yeah, but you know what? Parents want convenience. We're 5 minutes away from school. We're really easy to get to. We have convenient times. None of our 3-year-old classes are later than 4:30. So think about that. Yeah, why your studio? That's the question. Because we always think about like how we're unique, but it kind of loses its importance if we don't have the question of why your studio. This one is a little nuanced. And the question is, we're talking about moments here. Why your studio now? Why your studio now? Why your studio today? And this is a juicy one based on what's happened in the world, right? Over the last 12 months. Because this is the urgency that we need to create. This is the urgency that we need to create of why our studio now, why our studio today, because we want them to take action. We don't want them to wait. And so this is the urgency piece that we need to add into our marketing, right? If it was me, I'd be talking about the horrendous year that we've had and the fact that children have been separated from their friends, from being in social environments. And if not today and not this week, like how much further does that put that child back socially, social developmentally, like all of those aspects, right? So why your studio now? And it might be because you've also put great processes and systems in place to make your space the safest in the area. You may have done a week-long teacher training with your teachers so that they know how to keep their students safe in class. That's why now, right? So I want you thinking about those things. Number 7 is the opportunity. And the opportunity around kind of telling your story here is, what are your parents or students, if you deal with adults, what are your parents looking for? What are they looking for? And a great way to find that is go to your existing customers and say, why did you join us and why do you stay? Why did you join? Why do you stay? 2 very, very powerful questions that can literally give you all of the marketing material that you need. Why did you join and why do you stay? Yeah, so what are they looking for? So opportunity is, what is the parent, what is the student looking for? Yeah, convenient days and times. They feel valued. They feel listened to. You don't have to go too crazy with this, right? You want to dive deep into that. Number 8 is all about design. How do your parents or your customers want to receive your service? How do they want to receive your service? This is a good one. I love this question. How do they want to receive your classes? Do they want to receive them virtually? Do they want to receive them in person and for no longer than 30 minutes? Do they only want to be at your studio 1 day a week? Right? What is the experience they want? How do they want to receive what you do? Because often people who are running a dance studio in the 80s sometimes are still running their dance studio in 2021 like it's the 80s. And they're like, well, this is how I've always done it. Have you ever heard, well, if they don't like it, they can get lost. This is how we do it here. That's not the way that you run a successful business. So I want you to think about, how do they want to receive your service? Have you ever asked them? Have you ever said to your customers, hey, do you like an hour-long class? Would you prefer it to be 30 minutes? Would you prefer us to do a combo class with all 3 in one? Would you prefer them separated? Would you prefer that all rehearsals happen for 2 hours on a Saturday afternoon? Really want to ask them. And that doesn't mean you do what everyone says. You've still got to keep your vision in mind, but you need to know what your customers want, because they leave and then you go, I don't know why they left. Well, they left because what you are giving them is not what they want. So I love that question. And guys, every question I'm posing you here is to make you think. This isn't like a 5 minutes, I've got the answer. We go really deep into this inside of our Student Attraction Intensive, which is our 8-week program, where you get to really spend some time around these elements and get you really clear around the answers to these questions. And number 9 is ambition. And this is different for all your customers, but what is the end result your customer is looking for? Because if you know this before they walk in the door, you're in a really powerful place. No one really kind of does this when they're working on their marketing strategy either, right? Where do they want to go? If they're bringing in a little 3 to 4-year-old, what's the ambition the parent has for that 3 to 4-year-old? A very different ambition, mostly, unless they're an advanced 3 to 4-year-old, but a very different experience than the 10 to 11-year-old parent, right? Who maybe their kid wants to be a dancer, like that. That's kind of where they're at. So what's the ambition? Yeah, to have community around them, social skills. Maybe they do want to be on Broadway. Maybe if you're teaching adults, they want to fall in love and they think dance is the place they're going to find it. So get clear. What is the ambition of your customer? Guys, if you just did this 9 grid and you just focused on this, you'd be in a really different place in 12 months' time. If you just focus on this grid that I gave you. So what I want to ask you now is, we've gone through our marketing, kind of the top part of our marketing campaign. We're clear on who we want to attract. We've looked at some offers. I've started to give you some really powerful tools around sharing what you do and how to stand out. because it's all here, right? This is all the start of the process of how you start marketing to not blend in, but to stand out. Now, what I want you to do is to commit to an offer for August and September for the age group you've selected. What offer are you going to select? Your irresistible offer, we call it. So I want you to go through and look at free class, paid trial, 7-day class pass, 2 classes for $2, or a bundle. I want you to let me know in the chat, what offer are you going to use for your marketing for these next 2 months? What offer are you going to use in your marketing for the next 2 months? Take a minute to have a think. You're about to launch a campaign to bring new students through the door. You've selected your age group. This example was 3 to 6-year-olds, and they're promoting their Dancely classes. Alrighty, let's have a look here. Okay, 7-day dance pass for $15, free trial in a bundle, 7-day class pass, free trial, 7-day class pass, 2 for 2, free back to dance party, 2 classes for $2, free trial, 2 dance days for $20, 7-day class pass, see some free trials, 7-day class pass. Amazing, amazing. So what I want you to do is your homework for today, for day number 2, is to jump in the group, and under this video, I want you to write irresistible offer and then what your offer is. Today's homework is really easy. I promise you it gets a little harder as we go through, but I want it to be a little easier our first 2 days. So jump in the group, potential to win a $25 Amazon gift card. Jump in the group and let me know, what is your irresistible offer that you are going to commit to? Because you've just committed to it. You've just written it down. You've just committed to it. This is the offer that is going to help bring new students into your studio, into your